God knew that he had the technology to advance the building of this tower all the way to heaven. So there had to have been some type of a technology that they had advanced quite a bit. And God knew, hey, I've got to do something. I got to shut this down. It's way too early in the prophecies of the plan. I can't allow this. So, tear down the tower, confuse all the languages, send everybody, scatter everybody, and blow this thing down. And I just think it's amazing that how quickly mankind advanced after the flood, how quickly they did to get to that point.
Do you think, I know that the movie Noah came out, and a lot of people hated it because they said it wasn't scripturally accurate, and it really wasn't, but it was more Kabbalist accurate. It was an ancient Jewish mystic type of view of Noah, and that Noah and all of his sons and everyone who lived at that time got most of their information from the Nephilim. Do you ascribe to that?
Yes. The Nephilim were certainly, we had giants in the land. In Genesis 6, it tells us there were definitely giants, mighty giants, and they were very violent. And it even says that they were before the flood and after, which we know that's true that when Joshua and the children of Israel moved into Canaan, when they got into Canaan, the first thing they had to do was fight all these huge giants. They were so big they made the children of Israel look like grasshoppers, and they had to be Nephilims. Even in Genesis 6, it tells you that the sons of God looked upon the daughters of men and saw they were fair. And they went to them, and they had children with them, renowned men of mighty men, great statues. So Nimrod, to me, I believe Nimrod was a hybrid. He was certainly some type of a hybrid, which meant he had great physical strength. He was quite large. He was a leader, and he was extremely intelligent, which he would have gotten from the Nephilims. He would have had, this is why I believe he had the special technology to know how to build this tower, because he had more than just earthly man's knowledge. He had celestial knowledge.
My guest last night, Anthony Patch, told me that he believed that the scientists in Switzerland at CERN received their knowledge from beings like Nimrod, that perhaps Nimrod, they are the modern-day Nimrods that received information from beings much like what we read about in the times of World War II, where the Nazis received knowledge from these beings. We even heard rumor that there are tall white beings that are dictating what's going on in the White House. These are the fallen ones. Are you of the opinion those are the fallen ones that are talking to these people?
Yes, absolutely. They are the fallen ones, the fallen angels. They are principalities and powers. Apostle Paul talks about that in the epistles. He says, there will be principalities and powers, spiritual wickedness in high places. And a lot of people, when they think of high places, think of just only of governmental places or positions of power, kings, presidents, what have you. But yes, even though those are high governmental powers, there are higher powers, and those would be demonic powers. Satan is the prince of the power of the air. So the fallen ones definitely commune with any human who is willing to open their soul to them. A demon spirit will communicate with any human being that opens the front door, okay? And there's portals you can open. When you talk about CERN, we can talk about that in a second here, but when you physically, each person, spiritually, you can open a door if you want to let the fallen ones talk to you. They're more than willing to have a conversation and teach you things you don't want to know. On places you don't want to go.
Right. On past broadcasts, Paul, you've talked about in your ministry, you've talked about how, and you're very knowledgeable of all the past instances where there have been portals that have opened. I discussed this last night. John D., Ed Kelly, Aleister Crowley, Jack Parsons. Do you know of any others that I'm overlooking?
Well, you hit the best ones. L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
He and Jack Parsons were involved in the Babylon workings. They were involved. They got involved in literally calling upon demonic spirits, familiar spirits, spirits of the dead, which would really all the spirits of the dead is actually Nephilims. The Nephilims, the fallen ones, fallen angels can take on many different identities. They can be called familiar spirits. They can be called, demonic spirits. They can take on many identities. And that's what they did. L. Ron Hubbard, Jack Parsons, following the teachings of Aleister Crowley, and we know what the Nazism things that went on there with the backbreeding and all that. Mm-hmm. They got that knowledge from the fallen ones because they pursued it, yes.
I mean, in World War II, I had this conversation today. In World War II, we learned a lot from Joseph Mengele. We learned a lot about the human body from Joseph Mengele, but at what cost did we learn all this knowledge about the human body? Now, we can say the same about CERN. We learned that they can find the Higgs boson, that they did find the Big Bang particle they're looking for, the God particle they're looking for. Now what are they doing? They're going to power up some more, to open up the portal some more for what? And we have all speculated that it's to have contact with gods with a small g, aliens with a big A, or demons with a huge D. What do you say to that?
Absolutely. But what we've done, the God particle from the CERN, the last time they fired this thing up, they got pretty dangerously close to possibly creating a massive explosion, something that we probably don't even know how. We just don't even understand the total power of God's creation, the creating power, when he spoke things into existence. And I think, man, with the CERN, they got very close. It's blowing my mind that on March 15th, they're going to crank this thing up to they say almost to the max. I'm not so sure they'll even get it that high. I really don't. I think this thing may malfunction. I'm kind of hoping it does without anybody getting injured. I really am. I'm really worried about it. Here's why. I'm very concerned that they're going to open portals of hell. Now, in the book of Revelation, it says that an angel with the key to the bottomless pit will open the gates of hell and allow Apollyon and Abaddon to come out of the pits of hell. And I've often thought, well, how did the angel get to the gate? And it may be that
folks, you can listen to this entire radio interview last night with Clyde Lewis, and I'll put the link in the description so you can go there. It was a fascinating broadcast. They invited me to come on and discuss the Nimrod technology. Nimrod, the mighty hunter, building the Tower of Babel, tried to build it into the heavens. He was trying to climb all the way to God. God saw that Nimrod knew how to do it, that he had understood the technology, how to do it. So God had to stop him by confounding the languages among the people of the earth, or they would have done it. That means Nimrod had to have gotten this archaeological and technology advancement, not from man himself, but he had to have gotten it from a demonic being. Who is the prince of the power of the air? Satan himself, Lucifer. And so God stopped him. Now what is man doing with CERN over in Geneva, Switzerland? Cranking this thing up March 15th? And what they're trying to do is create the God particle to maybe explode it again, which is how God spoke this world into existence. Now, here's something to know. You might be concerned about it. If you're concerned about CERN, you should be. But here's the thing. God will not allow them to blow the world apart with this technology. Jesus said these words. Jesus said that he would have to shorten the days for the elect's sake, lest there be no flesh saved. In other words, if mankind gets to the point that he can open the portals of hell itself or blow up the earth itself, God will end it before that. He'll stop them even if they've understood the technology. And I really believe that what you're going to see with CERN is not a massive explosion, but instead a release of demons from hell that will crawl out of the bottomless pit and affect the minds of mankind in such a way that the end times will accelerate to even quicker than what they were. If you want to listen to this entire broadcast, I'll put the link below. And it was pretty fascinating. I enjoyed going on there and just kind of trying to share what the gospel of Jesus Christ is all about, rescuing people from the depths of destruction and receiving salvation through Jesus Christ. God bless. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We are in the last days.